Hi everyone, this is Amy with Chillin with Amy Paint and Canvas, and today I'm going to do this cute gnome of love, cute little guy done on black canvas here. So I'm going to show you step by step how to do it, and of course you can change it up any way you want to. So thanks for joining me, and we're going to go to just one camera so you can see pretty clear there. Okay, so um, the first thing I did, of course, was I painted this canvas black. Now, I did some streaks of a little bit of white, a little bit of purples and pinks and whatever. Just kind of streaked them in the background so it's a little less straight black. Then right here at this little section right here, I did a little more purple and to the black to kind of give him a place to where he's standing at. So I'm just kind of brushing off some of the white stuff there. But um, now again, you can paint your however you want, but I'm just going to show you how I'm doing mine. Transferred with white transfer paper, the pattern. Pattern comes in 4 pieces of tracing papers, and you just trace them on there, and the white shows up on the black grate. Now, if you use, say, a white background or a light background, you'd want to trace with regular carbon paper so that it's not, so it would show better. So, to get started here, I'm going to put just a little bit of black on my palette because I want mine. I got some red here, and I'm going to start with just putting in some of the red here. And I'm going to start here. I'm making it a little bit darker red. You can go bright red. Add a little more bright to it, but however you want to do it. And I basically am going to do red and white on his hat here, and then I'm going to have hearts in there. So when I paint that over, I'm going to lose those hearts, of course, but you can pretty much basic hearts. I think pretty much anybody can make those. And this will have to dry to put another coat of red on there to make a nice color, solid color of it. And then of course when we put his nose and beard and stuff in there, we're going to have to touch it up with the hat there. Bring the hat down over just a tad over his nose. Okay. Now I have a pattern of, I was going to do red and white, and red, white, or I could do red, white, black, and the white, and then red, and black, and red. That's kind of, I think that was kind of what I was planning on doing. Do the black here, and then we're going to do this one red. You can always change your mind later. Nice thing about these little hats and stuff, they don't have to be perfect. You can just breeze it on. If you don't like the way it is, you can make your own little pattern there. Just get a little base coat on there. And this one here is going to be red. And of course, also when I paint the hearts, I'll lose that writing as well. It'd be very tedious work if you wanted to keep that and you're afraid you couldn't write it or something, which I imagine you could, but you could paint around all that, but it'll take such a tedious amount of time. You can always take a picture, of it too. So maybe you don't remember or write it down if you want certain things on there. So like I want to say I want it to be, let me see, a paper here. Say I want the top balloons to be mine, and I want the love and kiss me. I'll write that down. And then the bottom balloons down here, I got hugs and X's and O. And then if I forget later, and that's what I want to make sure I do, then I can do that. And with the balloons, I was planning on doing like I'm gonna do because I got the red on my brush. I'm gonna do this one's gonna be red. There goes the love. That one should be easy to remember though. Red typically represents love. And take the point of my little flat brush I'm using here, turn it sideways and just take the point and keep that fine edge to outline that. Okay, and I'm planning on saying one of those is going to be pink. And I hadn't really kind of decided on the other color yet, but pretty sure that I wanted to do that. And then let's see, let's do the bottom one here in red. And again, like I said, this is, you can do it any way you want. Maybe you want different colors, maybe you want purples and white and all kinds of colors. Turn that this way. My heart stand will get bigger if I go out of line too much, or you can use a baby wipe and wipe them off. Okay, so we're gonna have to let that dry. There we go. Let's set that on there. Let that red dry off there really good. And so I got some pink here that we're going to do. And they're like pretty bright pink, I think. I'm going to put right here, maybe on this one. The brightest pink on the first one here. I just pushed my brush down a little bit. I wanted to make that one just a little bit wider on that end. All right. Okay. Then down here by his feet, this one here, I'm going to make this really, it's called Pink Parfait. And it's a really bright, pretty pink. Just used it on my tulips that I did, and it's very pretty on that. Okay. There we go. All right. Now on this heart here, I actually have, it's another version of the pink. It's called pink. Actually, bright magenta is what it's called, but it's another pink version. And that one I'm going to make on this one right here. You can use a liner brush or a round brush. I just kind of like the flat brushes on these. Can certainly scoot it a little closer. I'm kind of reaching right here, but I want to stay in your video sight there, but at home, you could pull it closer to you and get the angles you need for getting these just right. And down there. Yeah. And then we can fill it in, and then we're going to have to dry. Okay. Rinse my brush again. Okay. So I'm going into the white now, and I'm going to go in here on his little hat. I kind of decided that the ones that have the hearts, I was going to paint in with white on his hat. So I'm going to do that. I'm trying to bring it up to the red as close as I can without mixing the colors. Yeah, just do the best you can on that. You let it dry, of course. That way you don't have to worry about it. And if you paint over the lines a little bit here, it's okay. We can touch it up with some black. And you could use the liner brush. As I get to the smaller sections here, I'm going to probably switch over. Okay. Just use the tip of the brush here. When I get to these edges, if you can tip it up and use your point and kind of push that there. Let that dry. And as I look at it with the black, I'm thinking I'm going to end up painting this either red or pink or something. I'm not sure. Don't think I'm going to leave them black. All right, let that dry a little bit. I'll rinse my brush a little. I'm going to go back in here with my red again. Since I decided I didn't like that, those were going to be black. I think I'm wanting the red. I think I'm going to switch it over here to one of my shorter liner brushes so I can get down in these areas. Just getting our base colors on here. As I said, as these dry, we'll put a little bit more paint on them. Make it more vivid and bright for us. It's a little shiny in the camera, I can tell there, but as it dries, acrylic paints, dry darker. That's where your oils go lighter. But so you kind of keep that in mind that, if I start this out and say, oh, I like that, it's, dark enough, I just like it. Well, keep in mind that it's probably going to get a little bit darker, at least a shade or two darker. And that's kind of why I like the flat brushes too, as if you can see there, I got a lot of brush strokes in there, which is fine, but I would prefer not to have all those. Okay, so now on my white beard here, and then we got the little glove, his little gloved hand here, which is going to be, his glove is going to be red. I'm going to put the red glove on there, and then it's got a couple little stripes there, so we want to do that. The strings from his balloons is going to come down across his glove hand, but for now, we will just paint right on over top of that. Here or something. Just trying to get basically outline the glove. It'll go in under this hair or beard line there. And I'm painting in between the little stripes because I want to keep his little stripes on his gloves. Got a couple little stripes there. Okay. I'm gonna let that dry a little bit. Now, as I got some of this red here, his little socks down here, I have a pattern of pretty much the same as the hat, except it's red, white, and black, and I will probably use the black in on that one. So I've got some stripes going on here. So I'm going to start putting those in first. And I'm going to just basically, you can decide your pattern. If you want to do like a plaid kind of thing, you could. But I'm going to basically have all my lines that go this way be red. Fill them with red. So just filling those in. And you could do one section at a time on each, the gnome, instead of kind of jumping around. But I just kind of like to get the colors that I know that I'm going to need here to go ahead and do those. So then down here we got a stripe of red. And then down here we're going to have in this corner, that's a little stripe of red there. probably would have a little up here, just under that beard. We're going to bring some beard down over that. That one we don't really need to worry about too much there. Rinse the brush good. And roll that red out of that. Okay. Make sure your brush is good and dry. So I'm going in the white now. Okay. So then with the white, we decided it's going to be the lines going this way. And I didn't get all the water out of my brush, so tap that real quick. Sometimes when I rinse it, I think I get it all out, and I don't. So then you end up with a little blob of paint. So, all right, so the white. Now my white is going to go underneath the red. You could do it different if you wanted over or whatever, but mine is going to be under the red here. And this is not going to be probably the neatest job. And you don't have to be that neat, but when I get it done, get all the layers of the white, I think then we'll finish it up with the red and blacks and make sure that it's all nice and tidy. Now we want to just get our colors in here. The other option too, I was thinking of the black, I could do like a really dark red color in between those instead of the black. We'll see how that goes, but this gnome's full of love. He's got the hearts, he's got the colors, and he'll have the saying. Now I put this in YouTube in a private link, so when someone does the kit, they will get the link for that and be able to view it on the YouTube. I'm not sure if I can put it in Facebook from YouTube or not. Possibly could if I save it, I guess. Could do that. So that's for those. And I think I am going to go with the dark red because the black, I mean, it's there. I don't know what you think, but I think I'm just going to go with the dark red. So I'm going to add some black to my red I was previously using there. You could do more of a purple color even if you wanted. I'm just going to go with a really dark kind of red. And basically where I didn't paint, and again I did too much water, where I didn't paint the white or the other red, I'm going to put this darker red. And as I get up under the beard there, I won't put too much because like I said we're going to cover that up with his beard. I'll bring that a little bit darker. Even. Yeah. We're going to leave a little bit of the black lines in there. in between. That's pretty cool, actually. And that's where the black could come in, this black lines in there, make it more like a plaid. So just fill them in there, kind of where those would go. The other thing you could do is, if you don't even want to mess with a pattern, you could just make his socks like one solid color. And you don't have to worry about this pattern. Nice bright red or something would go great with his outfit. Okay. All right. So I'll rinse this out. And basically now we're going to just end up going back over what we just did. All the different colors here so that we can get their final coat on there so it's heavy enough. So I'm going to go ahead and start with my white this time. Let's get this white up here. I'm going to put it on there, and I think I'm going to put it on a little bit heavier this time. Just go ahead and get the coverage. You could do lighter coats. I'm just going to try to knock this out in 2 coats so you're not watching the whole thing of me just repainting where I painted. So we want that white to be dry too so that we can paint our hearts on there. Might even throw a few hearts on the red patterns too, I don't know. That white kind of come down there and join that other white. And then on the background of this little gnome guy, you can leave it dark black like it is. What I thought would be kind of cute, and I'm not sure if I'll do it, but was painting some different hearts, little hearts, that were like faded out. Maybe they were falling down and like almost like rain, but coming down in hearts. But that'd be kind of cute. Give the background a little bit more color. Or you could go with the dramatic of leaving it the way it is so that it kind of pops. Bring some up here. Okay. I'll go ahead and get my short liner again. I'm going to put some paint on here. I'm going to go ahead and get the white on his socks covered up again. And so I think just this last little coat here will probably be enough for that. when these, you will have access to this video for, and on Facebook I usually do up to a year. On YouTube I have to remember how long. I think it could be a year as well, but you'll have access to it. You can keep going back and looking at it and seeing, if there's something you need to rewatch or whatever, you can keep watching it. Just put this in here and now I said on this on his socks, I probably will. That's where we can take that black and outline these lines. One, it'll clean it up, but two, I think it'll make it look a little bit more like it should. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and take back to my little flat brush here. Such flat shader is what it's called. Going right into the bright red. No black or anything in it on this one. Let's see. Let me start over here. Keep my hand on the one I just painted. And we're going to start putting in some fresh red. Hopefully the 2 coats will be enough. If I put it on there, I think a little bit heavier. Cover that up the way I want it and make it bright. Again, you can use if you want to use your liner brush instead, you can do that. I probably will touch up a little bit with it. Make it a little bit neater, I guess. Right now with all the red and white there on his hat, kind of reminds me of a cat in a hat instead of a little gnome guy here. That'll change when we get all the hearts and stuff on there. And just kind of give that final little stroke of the going with the way the hat is going, pattern there. These little gnomes are really cute. I love the ones like this with their noses just sticking out. You don't see their eyes or anything, just their little noses. It's so cute. All right. So, in with the red here on his glove. This little gloved hand there is almost in the shape of a heart, isn't it? I need to get my liner for that little area there, but in the meantime, some red heart there. Get this one down here. I'll rinse my brush out. I'll get my liner brush. And we're going to go in here and just kind of check these edges here. Join the hat, make sure it looks like it's actually joined there. Put a little black lines in and around it. That'll clean it all up. Nice and neat, tidy. This one, bring that over here. I used a little bit of that darker red on that one just to tidy that up a little bit. Before I get too far here, I'll get this little, it's going to have some little white stripes here. Maybe one in there that we didn't get. Okay, so we'll go back in our red, our bright red, and we get this bright red here on his socks done. Okay, we're going to take our back to our flat brush and get into our paint color. Start with my little hot pink here. And I'm going to come down here on the bottom. go into that magenta. This one up here. Got a little bit of that other pink on my brush, and that's okay. It's going to work okay. Gives it a little bit of a lighter color, but makes it pop. And we just got our bases in there. And I take some of that black now. Just kind of come down here. Let's see if we can get our black like outlined, all these lines on his socks, and they don't have to be perfect lines too. Just kind of show that that's where those go through. Come this other direction. Oops, red into my black here. Okay. That cleans it up nice, but it also kind of makes those pop a little bit. And I'm even going like on the outside around, just basically going around the edge here and kind of clean it up a little. Down where it goes into his shoe. There we go. And then we'll do the same thing up here with the hat on that as well. Before we go too much on that though, I'm going to do a few little hearts up there on his hat, on the white, like I was telling you. And then we'll go, I won't do them all, but just to kind of give you, we'll just, start putting in some little hearts. Just some basic little hearts. Maybe there's, this one kind of goes upside down. So put it upside down like that. Okay, those, like I said, on all the white areas, and then maybe like in some places, the hearts kind of come out from under the hat, the edge of the red or something. Be hitting a bump there. Can't seem to get that one smooth. just wherever you think, you know, the hearts, you want to put the hearts and how many you want to put on there. So I'm just going to I'm just putting some on so you kind of see kind of what I'm doing here and how it goes. So I have a little heart rate. Let's see here. So, and then that'll kind of give you an idea on that. And I'll do more of those, but I might, you know, try to get them all over there a little bit more. Unless I might even add some pink ones in the red. I'm not sure yet. We'll see on that. Okay, so the little guy needs a nose. And with that, I have a little bit of this, this nutmeg brown. And I add just a, oops, dripping on me. Add a little bit. I'm going to add some white, of course. Lighten it up. Make more of a tan kind of color. You can decide you want his nose to be a little more towards the pink side. And you can add some, you know, red in it. If you want it more yellow, you could, you know, tan and yellowish tone. You could add more like yellow to it. Add a little more white. And I'm going to add a little more of that red. I want mine to be just kind of a light tan. Maybe it's going to have a little bit of a pink cast to it, but not too much. Oop. Get my hair off of there. All right, so this is kind of the color I'm going with. Go ahead, let's get this in because of course it's going to dry a little bit so we can put another coat on it. Let that dry. That's the start of his nose. And as you can see, like as they're drying, you have to decide, you know, is that enough paint on any of them? The red, do you think it needs more, you know, color? You can put another coat. That's gonna be, you have to just kind of decide on that. Now down here on his little shoes, um, uh, originally I was kind of thinking of the staying with like a black shoe and just putting, you know, some highlights and stuff on there. So I'm not real sure because with all the black background, I just think I'm going to have to go again with a red or something. I could do a hot pink if I wanted, but I think I'm going to have to do the red. So we're going to go ahead and get some red going here on his shoes. I have little laces on his shoes, which I think are going to be cute. And I'll probably do those either in a white or pink. That's the, like I said, the fun part about all this though is you can change it up however you want to do it. If you want make them purple or whatever, that's, you can change it each time you paint it too. Like if you do it more than once, I do more than once, I change my mind. Oh, I'd rather do it this way, you know, different color. Or maybe I'd rather have this. So that's the fun part for me, I think, is doing that. Instead of trashing your painting, if you, for some reason you don't like it, don't trash it. Just keep painting and let it dry and paint over it. Or just start a whole new one because each one's not, they're, none of them are trash. They're all good. You have sometimes just have to step back a few minutes, take a look, and take a break, and come back at it or something. And just painting what you feel and what makes you feel good is really what it's all about. Doesn't have to be some masterpiece of fine art that someone Picasso or somebody's going to paint, but just what makes you happy is what really matters. And going with on these shoes, I've got like a little darker red color that I went with. Well, boots, I guess you would call them, not really shoes, boots. There's the base colors there. Put a little more hump on this side here. I think he needs a little bit. My shoes are never the same, that's for sure. But it's okay. Okay. You take a little bit of black. And my brush, I know, is still wet, so I need to get all that water out of it. Get some more of that black. And right here, right there, big old drip of water. Right here, we know that's where his little boots come up on the toes areas. So I'm going to put that line back, that black line in here. Same way over here, and a little black line. Okay, and then he has, I'm going to put a little black eyelets for his strings so they can dry. We're going to put the white strings because that'll show really well, pop really well. Or you could do pink, red, doesn't matter. Any color you want there, really. Mainly we just want to get those eyelets in there. Take a little bit of that black, put that right there where those boots and socks go. Going to indication here of it kind of sinks down there. Now you could put like a little indication that those little boots come together right there. Just kind of let that go there and fade out like that. There we go. There we go. Let those dry. Now, I think before I'm done, I will probably put another coat of paint on each of the reds and my hearts and stuff. But the socks and stuff are okay, I think. It's fine. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to get that nose. Get some more paint on the nose. Since I think it's dry enough, I can probably get that on there. Seems I got a little bit of a spot right there. I don't know what I did there, but off. All right, so with this little guy here, got some brown, that nutmeg brown. That's gonna come up here, right there where that goes under this hat there. I wanted to bring that a little bit of brown, and then I'm gonna just kind of pull it down into the paint a little. Okay. And we're gonna go and give him a nice little round highlights here. So should let it dry a little bit more, I guess. Lighten up that nose right there. And just maybe kind of decide kind of where's the highlight gonna be. So I'm gonna put a little white right there. And he's gonna have a little bit of white right here. That's probably good for his nose highlight there. And you wouldn't have to put as much if you didn't want to. It's totally up to you. All right, and then we're going to go into his tassel here and the beard. Now, I want to make, we're going to make kind of a nice gray. So I need a fair amount of paint here. Your white. I think I'm going to, that's okay, but I'm going to get me a bigger brush here. I'll get a little more of that over here. And get my, so we do the gray, and then we'll come back with the white to highlight where we want. Or you could do all white and just do the gray as making it the shapes, but I'm just going to do a gray first. Get a little bit darker here. Yeah. And then all these little edges, though, little curlicues and stuff, I want to leave those because I want to kind of keep those so I'll remember to do them. Just want to get some of this paint on here. Getting a little nice big base coat for his little beard on there. We'll get our liner brush for all the small areas. We want to get, really close to his nose and hat. Just right now, just kind of getting the bases of his beard in there. Okay, so then we'll take the smaller liner brush and we're just going to come around his nose. Under his hat a little bit. Now for him, I'm going to go ahead and bring out some gray curly cues before we do our white. Just try to get some of that up on the edge there. So we got some going over here. I'm just taking this brush here and loading with paint and just kind of going ahead and just putting some stroke marks here. Some curly, some not. Breaking up the edge where we put the gray. Yeah, the gray on there. Gonna be coming over those socks a little bit. Little curlies. We're gonna come up here, and of course, we want to get some going up here on our little tassel here. Kind of decide where you're going to put it there. Just kind of putting it in there, and then we'll go ahead and the rest of it going there in the white. Okay, so that's the base coat, and we're going to let that pretty well dry on there. And I think our red is down here is just still a little bit too wet yet. So I'm going to go ahead while that's drying. Oh, there it is. Find my other little paintbrush here. Just going to go ahead and add that extra little bit of red here. And if you find like me, I just keep adding, my heart gets a little bigger because if I go over it too far or something. So it just gets a little more bigger. It's okay. That's all right. Yeah. Again, definitely needed some more. And then with the hat here, I'm going to, some of the dark in it I like, so I'm just going to kind of bring some over here where I think it should be a little bit lighter. Mm-hmm. Okay, give it little highlights if you want, which we probably will. So. Get some of that. Bring it right up here under the nose a little bit more. This area. Just while that dries a little. Dry off my brush here. I'm going to do the magenta first up there. I'm going to purposely add some of that lighter pink parfait into my magenta as I go ahead and put another layer here. There, I like that better. I think that gives it definitely needed that other coat. So then we go back into our pink parfait and do one more little on this one. And that little one down here. Takes a little bit to paint over the black. And much better. Yeah, much happier with that. Okay. All right. Okay, so those are good. Now we're going to do the ribbons. I'm going to take this thinner liner brush here, or a ribbon coming down from the balloons. And you just kind of, put what color you want to use. I'm thinking maybe we'll go a little magenta here. And just kind of load my brush here. I mean, I could do like white on the one, maybe magenta on the red. So we want it to kind of stick out a little bit. It might work, I don't know. It's all a little trial and error, kind of thing. You have to just go with what you feel. And then it comes right on down one of these strings here. Right on down there. And we're going to do a nice little, cute little loop there. Let it string out. Okay. And let's do white for the other two, I think. I think that'll be. Okay. So come down here. And you decide whether if you're going over or under. And I think up here, this one's going to go over top, and then it's going to go under. over. And this one is curling back over this way. Okay. And we got this one here, come down. And it's just going to go right over of those. And this one kind of comes back over here. Like so, and back out. Okay, there we go. So we get his little balloons on there. And I'm going to take some of that dark red. Okay, we're going to take and put, oh, I got water again. Oh, gotta quit doing that. So dark red. I want to put like, I want to indicate that this is his little thumb holding them. Okay, holding those strings there. So I want to make sure that he gets that covered up a little bit. It's okay that the rest of the strings come out like that, but we want to make sure it's hanging on to the strings. They're not, the ribbons are not just going to hang in there. Okay, we go back into our black, and we're going to put a little black line right there where his little thumb comes over, like so. Okay, and actually we're going to outline that glove there. And some of this black will show and some of it won't, but around here, this side. And right there where his little stripes on his gloves were, we're going to do that. Put the black on there. Kind of make them little stripes go back a little bit. Rinse up my brush a little. Back into my white for a second here. Just want to fix my little curly Q here. Yeah. All right. Now down here we've got some down below here. They've got one little balloon here. This red one here comes up. And then this one. Oh, that's the strings. This one down around. Just had a little bit of a balloon thing there. So I need to put that back out. That's part of his strings there. That's my strings. All right. So we're going to get, I got the liner brush. We're going to go ahead and do his little shoestrings here. And what I did first is started in the middle here of each of these and just did a little crisscross. And then the white. Like so. And then I just went and now we got a big whoop hoop there. Another hoop. And those come out. Those little strings came out and they're loose like that. And we'll probably do a little double on the hoop there, so like so. All right, and then same thing over here. Another big old hoop. You tied this side. You tied them a lot bigger, huh? And we're gonna come out. Yeah, got a little twirly on that one. Okay. Now we'll take that little flat brush again. All right, so we're going to go into some white. And I'm just going to kind of get like a dry scrub there. And I want to put a little bit of a highlight on his shoes here. I'm just going to scrub that on, come across like so. And then pull it down a little bit, just on the top. It just makes it look like that's the actual top of his shoes. Okay. And we're going to do a little more scrub there. We want to make a little bit of a highlight over here on his hat here. Maybe one, it's got one over here, one there, and one up here. And then one comes over here. So wherever you think you needs a little bit of a highlight there. Okay. And then now back to, we're going to use the brown brush, preferably at least a number 5 or 6 or something's good. Nice kind of thick brown brush. Now we're going to go into our white. And this is where you're going to do a little more of the texture and highlights on his tassel on his beard. Now, you just kind of on here, we're going to decide, we want to definitely have some that comes up. So I'm just going to pull some up here. And the object here is you don't want to cover all the gray. You want to leave some of that, exposed. And get our little tassel up here. So we want to give it some white. Just doing some little strokes. Bring some up over top of that little heart there. There we go. Okay. So I got that, and then same thing with the beard. I'm just going to kind of start with his beard. Just some little strokes here. They're going to come out from under the nose there. He's going to have some coming out from there. And I'm keeping them fairly short. You could do long ones, but I think that needs to be a little bit shorter around here. Just as we go through here, just kind of keep adding layers. Just kind of go a little sideways on that right there so you can get kind of coming out from under there instead of poking. I'll probably touch his hat up there. Kind of going over a little far. That's all right. Okay. So you just keep putting in more of these little strokes, give them little curves here. As I said, some of these that we did in the gray, we might go over a little white on them. Just keep putting in the layers. And like I said, you don't want to cover all your gray completely. A lot of it will be covered, but you're going to still see some of that gray peeking through. Just kind of keep working at it, working your sections there. Get a little more swirls over top of some that you've already done. Kind of tie them in here. And if you end up, where you do cover a lot of the gray and you want, you're not happy with that, you want it to show a little more, just go back in with some gray. You can put it all back in, the shapes and shadows, however you want it with that, adding a little more gray to it. Okay. How big or long you have his beard too is certainly going to be up to you. He might have been a really old gnome and has lived a lot of many years and has a really big long beard from all those years living. Don't know. There. Well, you're pretty well happy. That's good. Got too much. Back and taking a little bit of that red. Like I said, I've got the darker red this time, but coming just over that where I went with his beard, kind of tuck that beard in there too. So, alrighty. Okay, so we go back to our liner brush, and I'm going to use the long one because it has the most, probably, I guess, the finest tip. You could probably use the shorter one. Where's that? I guess we can find out which one works best, but we're going to put our words back in now. And this is just a basic, you know, if you've ever seen those little sweet tart heart things, they're not like written all fancy, but I'm going to try the short one first, see how that goes. We need to on a little bit of black. Got any black left in my thing here. And I got my white. So I'm going to put, I think in white, we're going to do the love on the red heart, because I think the white, of course, on the red is going to pop up there really pretty. And just kind of, you know, just eyeball it. And then bow. Up. And then I'm going to do this small E like this. There. I think that's pretty good, what we want. There. So I got love. And then down here at the bottom, we had hugs. And I'm going to do in the white again, like we did on that one. So hugs. Just write it on there, nothing fancy. Those little sweet tart things we never that fancy. And then I think I'm going to go black with the other hearts there, being that they're the lighter color. And we had up here on this one, we had Be Mine. So Be and mine. I think it might have went that like this. Don't remember how I did it, but I kind of like it better this way, so that's what I'm going to go with. Be Mine. And then we had on this one, I'm going to turn it a little bit. We had Kiss Me. That's what we had on this one. Kiss Me. And down here we had our cute little X's and O's. Their X. And one more O. How cute is that? And we're going to take these balloons. I'm going to take a little bit of white here. Yeah, they're balloons and they're a little bit shiny, and you could actually use, which would be actually pretty cool. Let's do it this way. I have this hologram glitter paint. It's really pretty neat. I'm going to take some of it, and instead of doing the white highlights like I was going to do, I'm going to use some of this hologram glitter. And we're going to put a nice nice highlight on all of our hearts here. And that's going to glitter, of course, when it hits any light. Maybe a little bit on this side. Over here. It's right now it's kind of showing up as a little bit white, but you could add white to it if you wanted to make sure it stayed a little more on the white color. But it kind of dries clear, and then, like I said, with the shiny stuff on it, glittery. Okay, I'm gonna put one down here, put some on there. This guy down here, he's gonna have like some up here and then down here on the bottom. Okay, and you put a little bit over here on his shoes, make them a little bit glittery. This is where you can get really crazy and get carried away. So, that's going to be up to you. But yeah, I like the glitter stuff. So I'm going to make him have a little bit of sheen. Okay. Maybe get a little bit on his shoes right there. Like that. Okay. So then, so a couple little spots here where I speckled some paint. Maybe put some black streaks over those. Down here at the bottom, we want to get our bigger flat brush here. Down here, we just want to kind of put first we want to put like a little darker shadow. So we're going to do like the darker black right here. Okay. And it doesn't show tremendously, but it's going to show on there. Okay. Just kind of showing that he's on something. And then I'm going to take a little bit of white. That same brush there. I'll turn my body here a little bit myself. And let's just put like okay there. Maybe let's put a little bit of streaks here. Give it kind of a take our wet brush here. I just want to go through those streaks I just made there. I want them there, but I want them to smooth out a little bit. These white ones, I mean. I'm going to put some black in here. I just want him, he's standing on something here instead of floating in the air. I was thinking of originally when I did them to have them like kind of floating down with the balloons, but I just kind of want to make him standing on top of something here. As I get down here at the bottom, I'm just going right back into the dark black. Okay. Yeah. All right. Now, at this point, you could say your gnome is finished, or you could do like I was talking about earlier, and this is again totally up to you whether you want to do that or not. Let's say you wanted to do some hearts or something coming down in the background. We can do one or two and see what we think here. I'm just going to watering down this pink. I want it to be kind of wet, pretty wet. And let's see, let's say we had a heart coming down, maybe one here, one here, here. I thought of, you could put like X's and O's or something too if you wanted to, for that matter. Just thought I'd do some little simple hearts, and some of them are going to be a little bit brighter than others, and some a little more faded. Just a bunch of little hearts. Cute little background kind of thing. Let's add some more water here. Losing our paint. Yeah, the cutest little gnome. I just love them. Showed it to my husband, and I said, "Look what I've created here, and I'm going to paint." And he actually kind of smiled and thought it was. I think he thought it was cute. He didn't say it, but I think he liked it. Yeah, they don't usually say. Just kind of doing a heart little background. Give him some love here. Gnome me some love. Now the last thing you want to do when you get, you're happy with your painting, got it to the point you want it. Last thing you want to do is sign your painting. And I'm going to sign mine. You can do your initials, or you can do your whole name, however you want to do it. I'm going to put it, I think, over here on this corner. Usually go over in a corner here off the side. But I usually just do my first name. And do a little swishy thing there. And you can put the date if you want. There. Now with that, you pretty much could have a finished painting. It's, again, like I said, it's up to you. How many hearts did you want to put on your hat up here? Do you want to put, more? Put some right in here. Or if you just want to leave it the way it is, that's like I said, it's up to you. I think he just needed just a few more little hearts on his hat. Fix my brush here. Maybe one over here. There. I think that's good. There. So that's how I would paint my Gnome of Love here, or Gnome Me Some Love. Um, it's just a cute little painting, a lot of fun. And you can do this on wood too. How cute would that be on wood? I think that would be even better. Okay, so that's our finished painting. So if you have any questions, feel free to, let me know. Um, Message me or comment. That would be fine, and I will get back to you and let you know, what I can help you with. I'll be glad to help you. So with that, I want to thank you for joining me, and until next time, we'll see you again. Thank you.